my people, another video is finally here. Another video of MAHMOUD YAKUBU is finally here as Festus Okoye set MAHMOUD YAKUBU up to jail. Festus Okoye, the spokesperson of Inec chairman. Festus Okoye is the deputy of Inec chairman. He had been the one running up and down for him since when they conducted the election, speaking for him and making all sort of lies for him. He have been the one speaking for Inec chairman since when they conducted the election on the 25th of February. This man has finally set Inec chairman up to jail now. I don't know what is really going on. Maybe Inec chairman is no more paying him well again and all of that. But something tragic happened. Obedient, I would like you guys to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share this video, ensure you click the share button, share to different platforms, let it go viral. And if you can't share it, ensure you like it, give it a thumb up so that YouTube will recommend it for us. Peter Obi can make use of this as an evidence against Inec in court. Obedient, stay connected as I show you the full video. Coming back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, ensure you click the registration button on your video screen and do well to click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in first time, YouTube will easily let you to know. Still on the political zone, you know, I'll be giving you back-to-back on the regarding what is happening in the political zone right from the time they conducted the election on the 25th of February. You know, the election is not a pleasant election to Nigerians, and a lot of Nigerians are aggrieved due to the outcome of the election and the shenanigans that Inec did in course of the election. You know, with that, Obi have been in court trying to reclaim his mandate through the tribunal, through the judicial process, and Obi have finalized his evidence that is to be provided. Like the court asked Obi to provide 50 evidences, and Obi provided everything but was able to tender 13. Likewise, PDP also was asked to provide 100 evidences, but they were able to provide 27, and they ran the actions of everything against Inec and Tinubu. All the petitions of Obi is against Inec, Tinubu, Shettima, and APC as a party. Now, what happened today? Since when they conducted the election on the 25th of February, Inec chairman have become adamant to cause. He have not appeared in any television station and he have not come out to address Nigeria. But Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner of Inec, have been the one going up and down, lying for MAHMOUD YAKUBU. Any questions against MAHMOUD YAKUBU, he attend to the questions with lies and everything just to cover up for MAHMOUD YAKUBU. But something tragic happened. MAHMOUD YAKUBU is in serious trouble at the moment. Obedient, I would like you guys to share this video. If you can share it, ensure you share to different platforms, and if you can't share it, do well to like it so that YouTube will recommend it. Let it go viral, because this video itself will stand as an evidence for Peter Obi in court, because we're gonna be analyzing a lot of things out, and you will see where the fate of MAHMOUD YAKUBU lies. Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner of Inec, have been the one going up and down, attending interviews, answering questions for Inec chairman, the person of MAHMOUD YAKUBU. You know, it's no more the news that Nigeria gave MAHMOUD YAKUBU 200 billion naira plus as demanded from Inec. Inec demanded 200 billion naira plus from Nigerians just to conduct the 2023 presidential election, to conduct a suitable election. But all we have from Inec is an election that is not credible, where talks are bullying people in different polling units, where talks are flogging people back to their houses. People that came out to vote are being intimidated, and yet Inec announced Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president-elect and was inaugurated thereafter. Now, Nigerians are asking Inec the question, what do you use our money to do? Because the money is not federal government money, it's Nigerian money, the money that is being generated from taxes of people and all of that, because a lot of us are paying taxes in this country. So it was the tax of Nigerians that they used to pay Inec chairman, and yet he wasn't able to deliver. He come up with the excuse of the fact that there are glitches in course of the election. Now the question is out there, which glitch is Inec chairman talking about? Is it the glitch that did not affect the senatorial election? Is it the glitch that did not affect the House of Rep and House of Senate and all of that, but only affected the president presidential election result. The glitch that did not affect Osun State gubernatorial election before the 2023 presidential election. Which glitch is INEC talking about? Is the glitch caused by a human factor or is being caused by a machine factor, which is the beavers? INEC couldn't answer the question. If INEC should answer the question and say that it is the beavers that causes the glitch, Amazon will sue INEC to court because all the beavers that INEC used Nigerian money to purchase was purchased from Amazon, and it was the same Amazon that sold the same beavers to United States of America. They sold it to Russia, they sold it to India and other big countries in the world, and their own is working fine. Why is it that it is Nigeria own that is not working fine? Amazon will sue INEC to court and INEC will pay for the lie. But Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner of INEC, has finally come out to set INEC chairman off for jail. We should hear what this man say. This man scatter table with the way he answer question. A lot of people keep seeing him stammering. Any question on Festus Okoye's table, he becomes a stammerer. He couldn't attend to the questions of the presenter and all of that. The breeze are finally blue and fire are finally open. Festus Okoye himself is tired for all the question and answer that is being orchestrated by INEC chairman, because INEC chairman MAHMOUD YAKUBU caused the whole issue. Even Festus that is defending him is already tired of the whole process. If you hear what Festus Okoye said, he couldn't defend INEC chairman again. He did not know how to answer the questions again. He began to answer questions awkwardly. I would like to stay connected to the end of this video as I leave it to watch the video. Coming back again.
With the various organizations of persons living with disability to harvest data on where these persons are and the type of disability they have. So based on that, the commission made sure that we procure the magnifying glasses for those who have sight impairment. We also designed braille ballot guide for those who are blind and so on. But it is not enough, because we still need to gather that additional data, especially data relating to those who register before we carried out the continuous voters registration exercise. So that's one of the issues they raised. The second issue relates to internally displaced persons, and you know that if you look at the report, they talked about the pre-election environment being volatile and challenging, and because of the fluidity of the security situation in different parts of the country, those who are internally displaced were coming in to the internally displaced camps and going out. So that made it slightly difficult to capture all of them during the voting process. But for those who we could capture, who were in the camps of internally displaced persons, we made arrangements for them. We recreated their polling units and their registration areas, and we got them to vote
in the camp.
In the camp. But those who were staying with relatives and who were staying with friends, or who moved from one local government to the other or from one state to the other, there was no way we could factor them into the matrix for the voting process. And so that's part of the issues we're also going to look at going forward.
And you know, I want to go back. Let's backtrack and talk about those with that are visually impaired.
Yes.
How did you get them to identify? Is the ballot paper brailled?
Yes, it's called Braille Ballot Guide. You slot in the
Braille
ballot guide. You slot in the ballot paper into a Braille jacket, and they use that to identify the political party they want to vote for. That Braille Ballot Guide was designed in conjunction with the different organizations of persons living with disability.
And these were used in this last election?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, now let's come back to the others. Now we already have two, PLWD and the internally displaced. You just want to let us in on the other four?
Well, there was also the issue of the training of ad hoc staff. They talked about the training of ad hoc staff and the fact that the training was not adequate and that some of the classes were overcrowded. Now, the truth of the matter is that for the 2023 general election, the commission deployed over 1.5 million ad hoc staff. because we created additional polling units, and for the 2023 general election, we deployed to 176,606 polling units. And in each polling unit, we deployed both the presiding officer and assistant presiding officer 1, 2, and 3. We also deployed the supervisory presiding officers, and we had to train all these people. But the challenge is that in trying to train some of them, there was also security challenges in some local governments and also in some registration areas. So in some of the places where you had security challenges, we had to cluster the training venues, and some of them were overcrowded. So we are going to look into that and see in what ways we can decentralize the training of poll workers, and also design mechanisms of online training so that you don't need to cluster everybody around the classroom in order to train them.
You know, you were very much sensitizing Nigerians before the polls and during the polls, and one wonders, once this report is out, why the Commission and yourself specifically will call this an unfair assessment, because in the words of Inec says the final report on the overall performance is unfair.
I was the one that spoke, and I spoke yesterday. The question I was asked was not specifically on the EU report. I was asked to assess the conduct of the election, and I made the point that in assessing the conduct of an election, you have to look at the pre-election environment and the pre-election issues. You have to look at election day issues and also post-election day issues. And I said that in terms of pre-election matters, you can see that we registered new voters and we increased the docket of Nigerians who are registered. We also introduced electronic accreditation of journalists, electronic accreditation of domestic observers, and also online nomination. We opened an online nomination portal for political parties. I said all these things must be factored in, but that in terms of the election itself, people did not complain about the beavers as an accreditation device. In fact, in all the reports I have read, they said that in terms of accreditation, that the beavers performed optimally. In terms of upload of senatorial election results and House of Representative election results, in terms of the conduct of the governorship election results and the conduct of the state assembly results, that there were substantial and marked improvement in the performance of the commission. Now, the point I was making is that the issue that has been dominant revolves around the challenges the commission had with the upload of the presidential election results. And I said that it is unfair and it is not right to assess and evaluate the conduct of the entire 2023 general elections only on the basis of the glitch we suffered in terms of the upload of the presidential election result. And that was the point I was making.
But again, you would agree that that is something that can't be so described, because in the other elections, these are regional players and regional voters. But in this election, talking about the presidential, every player in the country is so involved. So it makes it a big deal.
I agree. I agree that it's an issue, and we explained to Nigerians what the issues were. I may not be in a position to comment extensively on the issue because it's a subject of a judicial process. So when the entire judicial process comes to a finality, we will be in a position to explain that. But at the level of the commission, starting from the 4th of July, we are going to begin our own internal and external review of the conduct of the election, and we are going to begin with interaction and interface with our resident electoral commission. I was
actually going to get there. Sorry to cut you, because first, why the delay? Because some had thought that before now yours would have been out even before that of EU.
Well, if the reports from the commission comes up before the reports of domestic and international election observers, there won't be any need to also engage the external actors in the process. And we also have to wait a little bit to make sure that the judicial process is firmed up, so that nobody will accuse the commission of interfering in the judicial process. But the judicial process has gone almost the whole hog. So I think this is the right time for us to begin our own internal and external evaluation of the election. Moreover, we have 3 governorship elections in November. So we need to understand the things we did right with the 2023 general election, the things that we did not do right, the thing where we failed completely, and then we begin to look for mechanisms on how to consolidate on the progress and the successes we recorded, how to ameliorate some of the challenges, and then if there are obvious failures, how to jettison those failures, and then bring in a template on how to conduct and manage good elections.
Whatever that means, deploy their resources. It looks vague, but it looks like something untoward when they all move to deploy their resources in such states.
Well, when I'm talking of resources, I talk about resources in a very broad sense.
And sometimes it could be to disrupt the system.
It's a possibility. If you look at some of the off-cycle elections we conducted, you will see the political parties launching their campaign council, and in their campaign council, all the governors are members of their campaign council for one state. All the senators elected on their platform are members of that campaign council. So you can imagine where 15 governors move to one particular state just for one governorship election. And it has both social, political, and logistic implications.
Let's see if we can close on this, because we've seen the Inec chairman in other parts of the continent. He was in Benin Republic, he was in Kenya before that election, and an election just held in Sierra Leone here, and it's something that Nigerians are asking if the incumbent Julius Maada Bio secured victory with 56.17% of votes, and in our own election we haven't actually been able to get that to 50%. Is it something that INEC would want the National Assembly to look and perhaps rejig and tweak our electoral acts?
I'm also I'm always very reluctant to compare elections. The conduct of election in Sierra Leone is like conducting election in just a Delta state. So there's no basis for comparison in terms of these elections. But even a small election, you can draw lessons from a small election.
Any lessons from this last election?
We have 2 national commissioners in Sierra Leone, and some of our directors and some of our electoral officers. The moment they come back, they will give us a report. If there are lessons to be learned, we will definitely draw from those lessons. And if there are some that can fit into our own political matrix, definitely, or electoral matrix, definitely we will draw lessons from those ones and implement them.
And it cannot be correct for a political party to rely only on result upload in order to get the evidence with which he wants to prosecute his case in court. But as I say, we have cases in court, petitions are already in court. Let the court make a determination of whether the commission did well or the commission did not do well. As far as we are concerned, we are going to present our report. We are going to make our submissions to the court. We are going to present what we know and what we did during the elections to the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal and all the other election petition tribunals, and then they will make a determination on going forward. But as far as the commission is concerned, there were so many positives to this election. There were also significant challenges and problems with the election. We are going to address those challenges and those problems. And if we receive most of the reports from the domestic and international observers, we will harmonize them, take out the actionable ones that have administrative flavor. We will implement them. If there are still challenges with the Electoral Act 2022 and the constitutional framework, we will also join Nigerians and go before the National Assembly to get both the constitutional and legal framework amended. But let let me say this, that as Nigerians, we must have faith in our democratic institutions, we must have faith in our democracy, and we must continue to work on our democracy, because the electoral process and democracy will keep on improving. There's no country in the world that can say it has a perfect democracy. No. You have to grow it, you have to nurture it, and you have to keep on nurturing it. Challenges will emerge, but the robustness of the institutions will determine how strong a democracy is, and that is my position.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. I believe you really enjoyed this very interview with Festus Okoye. You know, Festus Okoye, since when they conducted the election, he had been the one moving up and down and answering questions on behalf of MAHMOUD YAKUBU, the Inec chairman. You know, since when they conducted the election on the 25th of February, we've not seen Inec chairman face outside. A lot of politicians out there answering questions regarding the election, but the orchestrator of everything that happened in course of the election, who Nigerians believe that he sold out their votes and all of that, have never come out to answer any press question. They have never visited any television station for questioning and answering and all of that, and they have not made any press speech and all of that. This man just remained idle and silent, even with all the things that he did in course of the election. Obedient, what do you guys think? Do you really think Inec chairman is above the law and all of that, even when they issued a subpoena for him in court, when Obi was tendering his evidences in court, and even PDP, they issued a subpoena to bring Inec chairman to court, but he is nowhere to be found. Even the court made the order that Inec chairman must appear in court, but he did not appear. And this question keep bothering Nigerians: is this man really above the law, or is he the orchestrator of the law? And some keep saying that maybe Inec is now a political party on his own. So Festus Okoye finally set up Inec chairman. He thinks he's defending him in the questions that people are asking him. He thinks he's defending him and all of that, not knowing that what he's doing is already against MAHMOUD YAKUBU, because according to what Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner of Inec, according to what he said in course of this video, he said they should leave the court to decide that. If the court say that Inec did not do well in course of the election, that so be it, that the court should decide on their case, that the court should decide on Inec. If they did not do the election right, the court should punish them. And mind you, it's obvious that INEC did not conduct the election well, and the election is not credible. You understand? If Festus Okoye should say that if INEC did not do well, that the judiciary can penalize and all of that, shows that his boss will go to jail. MAHMOUD YAKUBU will go to jail if judiciary did not provide justice as far as this whole thing is concerned. Because INEC keeps saying that the beavers shut down in course of the election, that they suffered glitch. But looking at this thing critically, it is the same beavers that they purchased from Amazon that USA is using, India is using, and some other big countries in the world. And when INEC bought this beavers machine, they bought it in a lot of millions of dollars, because Nigeria gave them the money as demanded from INEC. More than 200 billion naira plus was what INEC demanded for, and Nigeria provided the money for INEC just for us to have a credible election. Now they are making excuse that they suffered a glitch. Now the question is this glitch a human glitch? Is it their engineers that misbehave or malfunction in course of the election, or is it the beavers, is it the machine called beavers that malfunction? They should let us know. They should not just put out an English for us Nigerians that they suffer glitch. They need to be specific. They need to specify the kind of glitch they suffered. We need to know the kind of glitch they suffer, because we pay for everything as far as the election is concerned. So INEC chairman is having a lot of questions to answer, because according to Festus Okoye said he can't come out to answer some of the questions, because he knows that if he should answer the questions, he already is in trouble, because he will implicate MAHMOUD YAKUBU. That is why the man is stammering and trying to avoid many of the questions that is being asked him. He said he can't dig further because the thing is in court and all of that. He's not in a position to answer it. That's just that MAHMOUD YAKUBU will be the one that will be in position to answer all those questions then. With that, what do you guys think? Do you really think INEC is playing us, or INEC is saying the truth? Because according to report now, the same beavers that they said they suffered glitch, they used it for Osun State gubernatorial election, and the election was credible. The same beavers, they used it for the House of Senate and House of Representatives and all of that. They used it for all the House of Assembly election, and it went well. But But as far as the presidential election is concerned, they made the excuse that the beavers suffered glitch. And mind you, Festus Okoye said something because the European Union, they observed the whole election thing, and they said that Inec did not do well as far as the presidential election is concerned. So with that, Festus Okoye said that, why should they say that? Why should they say that Inec did not do well? Is it not only the presidential election that we suffer glitch as Inec? That was what Festus Okoye said. And mind you, a lot of people pull out just for them to make their presidential vote. A lot of people are not interested in the House of Assembly vote and all of that. They are not interested in who is in the Senate. They are not interested in who is in the House of Rep. Their main interest for coming out is the presidency. And this man, Festus Okoye, keeps saying that they should not talk about the presidency. That is it not only the presidency that they suffer glitch, the presidency that everyone put eyes to. That is what this man is calling ordinary presidency. Can you imagine? Obedient, what do you guys think? A lot of people move out in the election day to cast their vote for the presidency. Some people voted for the presidency this thing. They didn't vote for House of Senate because they're not interested. But yet, it is that same presidency that they said that there was glitch and all of that. Drop a comment in the comment section on this video. That's a good night today and not another for you. And sure you follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and at LAJUPOG Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Ensure you like this video, give it a thumb up, and guess what, guys? See you in my next video.